Welcome back, my beautiful soul. Today, we're going to talk about anger. Not to suppress it, not to pretend it's not there, but to finally understand it, so it stops running the show. If you have ever said something in anger you didn't really mean, if you have ever felt your chest tighten, your jaw clench, your thoughts start racing before you even knew what was happening, this video is for you. Before we begin, I just want to tell you I'm Annie. I'm a transformational life coach, a clinical psychologist, a hypnotherapist, and NLP and EFT master practitioner. And if this is your first time here, please consider subscribing and turning on the bell so you don't miss any of the new videos. Every week, I bring you tools from clinical psychology, hypnotherapy, NLP, and EFT to help you rewire the patterns that no longer serve you. Now, let's begin. Picture a pot of water boiling on the stove. The surface is churning. Steam is rising. Bubbles break violently against the surface. Now, try to see your reflection in it. You can't. The water is moving too fast, too violently to hold a clear image of anything. The steam from the hot water burns your face if you try to go close. This is what anger does to your mind. In the heat of your anger, you cannot see the truth of any situation. You cannot see the other person clearly. You cannot even see yourself clearly. All you can see is the boiling, which burns you and the other person. And yet, so many of us make our biggest decisions, say our sharpest words in exactly this state, when the water is at its most violent and clarity is nowhere to be found. But here is what I want you to know. Boiling water always cools down. And when it does, the reflection returns, the truth returns, clarity returns. Boiling at some points in our lives is very natural. Our aim is not to never boil. Our aim is to recognize it and learn how to manage and shift it. And to also know with complete certainty that this is temporary. Let's take a moment now to understand what's actually happening in your body. When you feel triggered, your amygdala, the alarm system of your brain, sounds the alert before your rational mind even has a chance to respond. Your heart rate rises, your muscles tense, blood moves away from clear thinking and into your limbs, preparing you to fight. This isn't weakness, this is biology. Anger, at its root, is almost always a messenger. It arrives to tell you that a boundary has been crossed, that a need is not being met, that something you value feels threatened, that there is an injustice. The anger itself is not the enemy. The enemy is believing you must act while the water is still boiling. So today, I want to give you two tools. One, to interrupt the boil in the moment, and one, to change your relationship with anger itself over time. The first tool is about a short EFT tapping sequence. EFT stands for Emotional Freedom Techniques. It is designed to calm your nervous system in real time. the moment you feel the heat rising. You can do this anywhere, with your eyes open, sitting or standing, even in mid-conversation if you need to step away for a moment. While doing this tapping exercise, I want you to imagine a boiling pot of water simmering down with each tapping point until you see the water in the pot calm and serene. We'll begin at the side of your hand. That's called the karate chop point. Use whichever hand suits you. Tap gently and repeat after me, either internally or aloud. We will repeat this 3 times. Even though I feel this anger rising, I choose to breathe and allow myself to cool. Even though I feel this anger rising now, I choose to breathe and I trust that this feeling will pass. Even though this anger is taking control, I choose to take a deep breath and give myself permission to cool. Very good. Now move to the eyebrow point just above the bridge of the nose as in the image. Tap gently but rapidly with 2 fingers. This heat in my chest is trying to protect me. Again, you can repeat either loudly or internally. Now move to the side of the eye and tap. I don't have to act while the water is still boiling. Now move beneath the eye and tap. I can feel this without being controlled by it. Move now to beneath the nose and say, I choose to let this wave move through me. And now move to the chin point and say, I am allowed to feel angry, but I am still in control of what I do next. Now move to the collarbone point. With every breath, the water begins to cool. And finally, the top of the head, and say, I release the need to react right now. I choose clarity. I choose peace. And now take a deep, slow breath, hold it, and now let it go and say the word peace. Very good. Notice now, even slightly, the shift. That shift is your nervous system remembering that it is safe to come back down and relax. You can come back to this section as many times as you wish to help you bring down that explosive emotion. The second tool that I'm going to share with you is a shift in perspective. One you can carry with you long after this video ends. Every time anger rises in you, I want you to ask one question. What is this anger trying to protect? Not, what did they do wrong? Not, how do I get back at them? But what does this anger reveal about what matters to me? Because underneath almost every flash of anger is something tender, a boundary that has been crossed, a fear, an insecurity, a wound from long before this moment that simply got touched again. When you ask this question, something remarkable happens. The anger stops being a wildfire that consumes you and becomes instead a signal. And this signal is pointing you in the direction of what needs your attention, of what needs your protection and care. This is the reframe. You are not weak for feeling anger. You are not broken for having triggers. You are a person whose alarm system works, but your task now is simply to listen to it wisely rather than let it drive you. So the next time the water starts to boil, say this to yourself and your anger. I see you. I understand what you're protecting, but I don't need to act until I can see clearly again. Let the water cool and calm down. Then, and only then, respond. Close your eyes for a moment if it's safe to do so. If not, just imagine this with your eyes open. Picture that pot of boiling water one more time. Watch it slowly begin to cool. The bubbles soften, the steam clears, and there, in the stillness, your reflection begins to return. Clear, calm, whole. This is who you are beneath the anger. Not the boiling, not the anger, but the stillness that was always there, waiting for the water to settle. You can return to this place anytime you need. You simply have to let the water cool. And if this video helped you to see anger a little differently today, I would love for you to subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. I have an entire series on stress, anxiety, and the patterns that keep us stuck. And each one is designed to give you real, usable tools grounded in both psychology and the deeper work of healing. Drop a comment below and let me know what tends to make your water boil. Naming it is often the first step to mastering it. And if you know someone who could use a little more clarity today, a little more peace, share this with them. Until next time, be gentle with yourself, my beautiful soul.